We're back with another video. Top 10 underrated anime with overpowered main character. Drop a follow. Drop a subscribe. Like the video. Comment. Also, go subscribe to Anyman. Thanks for the video. And let's get into it.
Now, I am a hardcore sucker for both underdogs as well as overpowered main characters, but with the sheer amount of underdog.
Hold on. Just before we get further, just want to say, I love anime. Big anime fan. Have a whole bunch of anime tattoos. Literally.
Dog stories we have been getting recently, I think it's about damn time we take a look back at the overpowered genre as well. So today I have the top 10 underrated anime with overpowered main characters. And without wasting any more time, let's dive on in! To start out the list, we have Herbivorous Dragon of 5,000 Years gets unfairly villainized. This is what you get when you mix a vegetarian dragon with a persistent and hilariously misguided sacrificial girl. This anime is a lighthearted, cute, and feel-good show about a wimpy, kind-hearted dragon and an overpowered, cute little girl who follows him. The titular dragon, a 5,000-year-old herbivore, just wants a quiet life munching on his greens. Unfortunately, a village sacrifices a spirited girl to him in hopes that he'll protect them. When he jokingly claims he's a terrifying dark dragon to scare her off, she takes it seriously, awakens immense magical powers, and declares herself his disciple. Thus begins a journey to take on the demon lord that the dragon never asked for. Though he's perceived as OP due to his size and aura, the dragon's true power, quote-unquote, is navigating ridiculous misunderstandings and keeping up with Reiko, whose explosive abilities make her the real overpowered star. The comedy lies in their dynamic. Reiko sees the dragon as a god-tier mentor, while he internally panics over how to keep the charade going. The action and absurd misunderstandings are balanced with lighthearted humor, making this a perfect pick for fans of unconventional fantasy. The show does a great job of giving an enjoyable experience with a consistent tone that is silly, endearing, and cute. What it lacks is depth. It's a show that you can watch and be happy and then move on. You're just not going to stop and go, whoa, what did I just watch? So, regardless, watch it. Then at number 9, we have Black Summoner. So if you're thinking about watching this one, do keep in mind this anime is more classed like the mid-season fodder and isn't meant to be taken in the light as if it is a mainstream anime title, so you should have no big expectations at all, other than a show to watch that's not half bad if you do have some time to kill on your hands. So here the main character wakes up in a new world having sold his memories for an overpowered class as a summoner. But he's not your usual brooding hero, cause the dude thrives on battling strong foes, making his journey a mix of intense combat and surprising humor. His ridiculously overpowered summons include everything from mythical beasts to the literal goddess of reincarnation. Yes, she joins his harem, but this guy is a bit weird, and that's due to the sheer joy he feels in any combat. Where others might dread facing on an S-class threat, the main character grins and charges in, loving every moment. His power scaling is absurd. Not only is he unstoppable in fights, but his cooking skills and leadership makes him a magnet for loyal companions. The anime mixes flashy battles with laugh-out-loud moments, as Kelvin juggles epic fights with hilarious slice-of-life scenes involving his growing party. This show takes a lot of the good characteristics you'd find in several different standard isekai and puts them all into one show. So basically what I mean to say is that this isn't a masterpiece by any stretch, but it is what it's supposed to be. An isekai and fantasy wish fulfillment, so turn your brain off, have fun, and it does that right, so it's definitely worth a watch. Next up at number 8, we have Life with an Ordinary Guy Who Reincarnated into a Total Fantasy Knockout. This one's a laugh-out-loud twist on isekai tropes. Just about two ordinary guys. The two are transported to a fantasy world, but with one catch. One of them is turned into an absolutely stunning woman. Not only do they face the typical threats of a fantasy world, but also the chaos caused by their new dynamic, and the other guy struggles with developing feelings for his former bro, while the girl manipulates her newfound beauty to comedic extremes. Despite the waifu's unassuming origins, she gains access to unparalleled charm powers, bending NPCs and enemies to her will. And the dude, meanwhile, is a martial powerhouse. Together they form the ultimate overpowered and hilariously dysfunctional duo. The anime thrives on its absurd humor, poking fun at both gender dynamics and fantasy tropes, while also delivering surprisingly heartfelt moments. And don't expect anything epic from this series. This is not designed to save the world or give you an unforgettable action experience. This is made for you to have fun and make you doubt. So overall, if you look at distance, it seems like a generic power fantasy parody isekai with a twist, but honestly, it felt quite unique to me. So give this one a try. And after that, at number 7, we've got Skeleton Knight in Another World. If Overlord had a goofy younger cousin, it'd be this show. It's the story of a gamer who wakes up in the gaming world with his gaming avatar, an armored skeleton with a hilariously mismatched moral compass. He's essentially a tank of justice, capable of decimating enemies with his overwhelming magical and physical abilities. Yet his bone problem, literally, means he must keep his undead appearance hidden in case he is mistaken for a monster and attacked on sight. So the main character's strength is absurd because it's all about wielding weapons and magic that would make most adventurers weep. He casually wipes out armies, rescues elves from slavery, and slashes through moral dilemmas like he's watching weekly episodes of Dandadan. His lovable personality and earnestness make him a refreshing contrast to other brooding isekai protagonists, and he's not here to conquer or manipulate, he's here to enjoy the RPG vibes, make friends, and snag on fantasy cuisine. And while the anime delivers entertaining action and humor, it does stumble with some dark themes that feel at odds with its lighthearted tone. Nevertheless, the main character's overpowered antics and wholesome heart make it a fun, if occasionally uneven, ride. While I can agree with the general press that Skeleton Knight has nothing new to offer or to change the perception of the isekai genre in its entirety, with edginess being its prime that reeks of mediocrity and a burning flame dumpster fire, it does the one thing that it knows best, and that's to be a fun and adventurous isekai that doesn't question origins. Next up at number 6, we've got
I have seen this.
Ever wonder what would happen if a demon king wanted to fix society instead of destroying it? Maoyu dives into fantasy economics, with the demon king and hero teaming up to end their world's endless war. Not by swords, but through agriculture reform and trade policy. Yes, this anime makes land management thrilling. Both leads are wildly overpowered, but not in the conventional sense. The hero is a combat monster capable of decimating armies, while the demon king is a genius strategist who wields her intellect like a weapon. Together, they're unstoppable, not just in battle, but in reshaping their world. The show's brilliance lies in its nuanced exploration of power. While the hero can slay monsters, the Demon King demonstrates that societal change requires brains, not brawn. Their unlikely partnership sparks witty banter, romantic tension, and thought-provoking debates about economics and war. This anime's take on modern fantasy and overall medieval is different and much more appealing. And overall, I really enjoyed the show. Yeah, it doesn't really pay off in terms of the romance, and the story can feel somewhat unfinished, particularly with the ending being only semi-happy, but I really like to see real-world economics and serious issues like cultural diversity being brought into a fantasy world. So if you dig something like that, give this one a try. After that, at number 5, we have Helk. This anime flips the script on hero versus demon narratives, so the so-called Helk is a human participating in a tournament to become the new Demon Lord. His reason? Well, to destroy humanity, of course. Yes, he's that overpowered. And yet he's as cheerful as a puppy with a chew toy, baffling everyone with his wholesome personality despite his terrifying strength. The anime juggles comedy and darkness brilliantly. The main character's insane feats, like single-handedly dismantling elite demon warriors, contrast with his love for heartfelt speeches and mediocre cooking. The supporting cast, including the suspicious but increasingly exasperated demon overseer, adds layers of humor and intrigue. Beneath the surface, the story explores the main character's tragic motivations, giving depth to this deceptively lighthearted tale of one man whose strength is matched only by his emotional complexity. The show is a really great seinen fantasy action show with some great comedic elements. It takes 1 to 2 episodes to get properly started, as the tone is a bit more silly, but once it does, it has a really consistent quality with a genuinely good story. From a lighthearted comedy show with few action scenes to an amazing show with wonderful world-building characters, heavy backstories, and one of the best voice acting roles I have ever heard in my life. And honestly, this is one of those anime that doesn't need any reviews. So rather than hearing this long review, go watch it. Next up at number 4, we have the Osan newbie adventurer trained to death by the most powerful party became invincible.
I hope it's new stuff for y'all
that's
as well.
A unique title. Wonder what the show's about. Alright, sarcasm aside, is this show generic? Yes.
I have not seen this one.
Is it stupid? Yes. But is it genuinely pretty good? 100%. So the main character of the show is literally the embodiment of never too late to be awesome. A former guild clerk who decides to chase his childhood dream of becoming an adventurer. Bro gets laughed at for starting at the ancient age of 30. 40. I forgot what his age was. But then an S-ranked adventuring party trains him, and that does make quite a bit of a difference. So 2 years of death-defying push-ups later, the main character emerges as a powerhouse who can crush dragons, defeat A-ranked monsters single-handedly, and casually obliterate anything stupid enough to underestimate him. And despite his jaw-dropping strength, the dude remains humble, cluelessly juggling his overpowered abilities and trying to fit in as a regular rookie adventurer. So this guy overpowers enemies that would make even seasoned warriors quake while insisting that he's just a beginner. The show thrives on absurd humor and an unorthodox take on isekai tropes, poking fun at the idea that protagonists need to start young. And as for the other things, the waifus are ridiculously cute, and the production is surprisingly good. While the world building and magic system is rehashed and
y'all out there love your
generic,
waifus.
the self-aware humor keeps it a little fresh, and the lovable 40-something-year-old main character makes you feel young and hopeful. So give the show a try. You'll thank me later. And after that, at the third spot, we've got I was reincarnated as the 7th prince so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability. Oh, another long title, but anywho, this anime is basically an overpowered fantasy fever dream. The 7th prince, reincarnated from a magic nerd, has one goal: to live comfortably while perfecting his already ridiculous magical skills. Forget political intrigue or court drama, this boy can vaporize castles before breakfast. His power is so overpowered, it borders on comedic overkill, which the show gracefully leans into. From crafting intricate spells to absurd displays of power. It's as much a showcase of creative sorcery as it is an adventure. With no limits on his abilities, the prince essentially becomes the walking embodiment of wish fulfillment, making for a breezy, satisfying watch. The writing of the show is oddly well done, and the visuals are high quality and the humor is on point. And I've seen a lot of isekai anime out there, and this one stands out in just how crisp and well animated it was. Even the ecchi content is well crafted, with a unique focus on magic and a protagonist who is solely dedicated to perfecting his magical abilities. The anime offers a fun and refreshing take, so go and watch it. Then at the runners-up spot of today's list, we've got My Instant Death Ability is Overpowered. Now, the only reason this show is not at number 1 is because, well, Konosuba came before this. So just like Konosuba, this anime is an isekai comedy sitcom, but now instead of Kazuma, we have the main character, a cautious hero, a very cautious hero, summoned by a useless goddess named
I need to go ahead and go finish the rest of the episode.
who is just a goddess of support. She can heal, and that's all. And the main character isn't just overpowered, he's the walking definition of broken. Blessed or cursed with the ability to kill anything. Instantly. The main character's life is a parade of nonchalant destruction. Accidentally transported to a fantasy survival game, he opts for the simplest solution to every problem: annihilation. And what sets this anime apart is the main character's deadpan delivery. He's not power hungry or heroic. He's just trying to live peacefully, all while vaporizing anything that disturbs his calm. His companions are left to deal with the absurdity of traveling with someone whose strategy is always the nuclear option. The result is a wildly entertaining mix of tension and comedy, as even gods are forced to recognize that challenging him is futile. The story flips traditional power scaling on its head, making the main character's overwhelming ability less of a tool for heroism and more of a hilarious hindrance to any plotline that could remotely challenge him. His stoic boredom only amplifies the humor, making every battle a one-sided comedy skit. So if you want to watch something really fun, this is definitely the one. But at the top spot of today's list, we have Uncle from Another World. Okay. Tired of a generic isekai? Tired of a good-looking main character? Tired of fantasy-esque romance stories? Then this show is most certainly for you. Now imagine being overpowered in two worlds. The basic story for the main character of this show is an uncle who spent 17 years in a coma. Not in stasis, but in an alternate fantasy world where he mastered every magical skill imaginable. Now back in modern Japan, he's got the ability to summon lightning, erase memories, and conjure lifelike illusions. Though his true talent might be his unmatched Sega fandom. What makes Uncle from Another World special is its hilarious subversion of both isekai tropes and family dynamics. The main character uses his godlike powers not to save lives or change the world, but to show off his bizarre adventures and poorly executed romances. Watching his nephew's exasperation as Uncle recalls surviving death-defying quests only to lose the girl of his dreams is a comedic highlight. And while Uncle can level mountains, he's no match for modern conveniences like smartphones or basic social interactions. His clueless application of overpowered powers in the real world turns mundane problems into laughable spectacles. The anime is a goldmine of slapstick humor infused with heartfelt nostalgia for the 90s gaming era, making Uncle's over-the-top antics feel oddly endearing. So if you are searching for something fun and refreshing, definitely watch this one. Well, that's the list for today, guys. If you were able to make it this far, please be sure to comment on which anime you think should have been on this list. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press on that bell icon and set us all to be notified about all our latest new videos. And as for now, I'll catch you later.
Alright, well, there go top 10 underrated anime with overpowered main characters. Also, tell me what y'all liked about it. Tell me which ones you're going to go watch. Let me know more. Give me other videos to react to, so I can watch it with y'all as well, so we can get new anime to watch. Hey, thank you again. Drop a subscribe for me. Thank you.